there are people in your life that you don't get along with, those who just rub you off the wrong way. And sometimes, even before they have the chance to open their mouth to speak, you just know, like, I'm not going to get along with this one. My name is Sylvia Machete, and welcome to our world of diversity. Diverse, not just in the way that we look physically, in our skin color, and our height, and our body shape. No, diverse in the energy that we give off. We have all kinds of people in the world, and oftentimes you meet these ones that they just wake up something in you that you'll rather want to keep asleep. You know, those ones that they push your kettle to boiling point, that you'll end up saying, okay, I don't want to drink any tea. You can take the teacup, take the kettle, take the spoon, just go. Those ones that when you meet them, there's this quiet whisper from your inner being that's warning you to beware. And if you don't listen or act immediately, or if you just react, as the case may be, you might just find yourself spending a lifetime full of headaches. But depending on your level of maturity, and I use the word maturity very loosely because no one is so mature that they don't get upset sometimes, but because there's always that one person that really irks you no matter how you try, you have to understand that there are so many reasons why we come across such people, and that even though they make us uncomfortable, believe it or not, they are for our own good. Only a mature mind can see them as lessons in overcoming one's weaknesses, in building tolerance for one's fellow human being, but also in learning to listen to the warnings of our inner being that's always right and always knows best. And it's always telling us and guiding us and reminding us that it's not going to end well if we come across such people, and so we should be careful. Many years ago, we had this young lady who was looking for work at my office. She came for an interview, and the moment she rang the bell, my entire body, there was a voice in my head that just said, no, no, no. And I remember that I wanted to tell my office manager, you know what? Don't open the door. But I couldn't, because legally we were obliged to give her an interview. That was the reason that she had come to the office in the first place. And by the time that she came up and I looked at her, the energy was off. The energy was even more overwhelming, and I was able to see beyond just the pretty face and the fancy shoes. And the voice in my head was even more steady. But after a while, your ego wants to take over. And there were two other gentlemen who also had to decide whether or not to hire her. So it wasn't all down to me. But they couldn't see what I was seeing. She had one of the best CV on paper, and she had worked for some top companies, even though something also pointed out to the fact that she had only been in this company for 6 months or 8 months. But when you had a conversation with her, she presented herself so well. Even I started to doubt that first impression that I had. And I was saying, maybe I was a little too hard on her. But these subtle warnings are always there for a reason. It wasn't long before the two guys said, yeah, you know what? She's perfect. Let's hire her. She starts on Monday. And I was apprehensive about giving my go-ahead for that. But I always knew it was the wrong move. She only lasted 2 or 3 months in our workplace, but not before we got that warning that I initially had, and that she was only there not to work, but to fake a workplace injury. And workplace injuries give you compensation up to about £10,000. And every 6 months, she moves from office to office, faking this workplace injury. I remember that even for the first few weeks of joining us, she was already complaining about the office chairs. And within 8 weeks, she had tried to tumble herself down the stairs. But luckily, we had a CCTV that was recording everything. And so she wasn't able to claim anything from our company. So yes, there are people that instantly you feel a discomfort every time they walk into your space. And you should take notice of this discomfort that you feel, because it's not for nothing. It could either be from past experiences with them, or similar experiences that you've had with others, or even new warnings from your inner voice that's guiding us away from making those fresh mistakes. But what happens if this kind of people are not just people that we interview in our workplace, but they form part of the daily circle of our friends and our families, and we can't easily shake them off from our lives? I think it will suffice to say that there are no accidents, and that they are in your life for that very reason, which irritates you. And it sounds like a terrible thing to say, but I'm a strong believer in seeing every situation as tailor-made. It's a tailor-made opportunity for you to learn something about yourself and about your own emotions. So how you get along with others, no matter how difficult they are, is to first of all appreciate the journey that each person is on, and to realize that in that moment you have attracted them to yourself for the purpose of learning something. And no matter how difficult they may be, tolerance and compassion allows us to treat them as we would expect to be treated. Because there's something called contrast in our nature and all around us in our environment. Contrast causes us to know the things that we want and the things that we don't want. So if someone is mean to you, you will want them to be nice. So you start planting the seed of niceness yourself. And if you find that someone is feeling sad, you want to make them happy. So you create a happy energy around yourself, which will then extend to them. And if the world is at war, you want people to find peace within. And so you begin to radiate this peace. This is the nature of who we are. Those things that present themselves to us, even if we don't like them around us, it allows us to decide that we now want the exact opposite of those things, which is much better for us. So a mean person is only pointing out to you why you mustn't be mean yourself. And a selfish person shows you why it's necessary for you to be more giving. And a difficult person is only showing you why you must make life easy for others. The worst thing is when you then turn around and become mean and selfish and difficult yourself because of the experience that you've had. And in that case, you would have learned nothing from the wonderful gift of experience that you've been given. So on our journey, we will always come in contact with that contrast in people, because only on this earth can both evil and good dwell side by side. But if you're on the good camp, you must learn to live in peace with those in the misguided camp. Not by acting misguided yourself, but by showing the goodness in yourself. As they say, two wrongs don't make a right. And an eye for an eye is just a world full of blind people. So rather than lose yourself in a rage from the behavior of others, which naturally does not align with yours, instead, you must maintain your own composure and still try to show them love no matter what. Remember, we are all on our individual journey. But how you react to others, it can slow down your own path or even set you backwards in your own progress. So for me, my prayers are not just to meet only good people as I journey through this world, even though I know that if I'm good, I will mostly attract good people to myself. But I'm also hopeful that should I come across difficult people once in a while, just by my very nature, I can make them see that easy, peace, and calm is better any day of the week than being mean and selfish and difficult. And I hope you feel the same way as well. Until next time, take good care of yourself and bye for now.